From the moment we are born, we straddle two fundamental sets of human needs. On the one hand, our need for security, stability, and safety, and on the other hand, our need for freedom, exploration, and discovery. We all grapple with these opposing sets of human needs that spring from different sources and pull us in different directions. And today, we looked especially to our romantic relationships to be the hub where we can reconcile this fundamental contradiction. And because our need for belonging to a person, a community, or a job coexists with our need for freedom of exploration of other options, we often end up acting from this internal contradiction. Our upbringing will generally shape our dominant tendency. Some of us come out of our childhood wanting more connection and more protection and more intimacy. And some of us will come out of our childhood wanting more space and more freedom and more individuality. One person more in need for connection, the other more in need for space. Therefore, one person more afraid of losing the other, and the other person more afraid of losing themselves. One person more afraid of abandonment, the other more afraid of obliteration. One person experiencing the need for space and separateness as a rejection and an abandonment and an exclusion, and the other person experiencing the need for connection and encroachment, sometimes as an invasion and a disrespect of their individual needs. When I draw that map, I'm reminded of my beginnings with my partner, with my husband, where I would ask him on Saturday morning, what do you want to do this weekend? And he would literally answer me what he wants to do this weekend. And it was a list of I want, I. And I was like, and where is the we? And then he would say, but where is your I? And I would say, but where is your we? And the way we organize ourselves in relationships is often that each person will inhabit one side of the equation. Often our relationships are set up in such a way that my proclivities will match your vulnerabilities, so that my strong side takes care of you never having to actually address the other side because you have outsourced it on me, and vice versa. That doesn't mean that we don't both need both, but each of us ends up only talking about one side of the fundamental sets of needs. So, how do we get out of this? What do we do? The first thing is very simple. Watch your dance. Who have you been in this dance, in more than one relationship for that matter? It will give you a sense of what is essential, what comes with you and travels everywhere, and what is particular to the partnership, to the person that you are with in this relationship. How has this relationship organized your role is very different from this is who I am. And second, play the other part. Embody the part that you don't usually give voice to. It will make you experience the wholeness of this equation between security and freedom. And two, if you talk about the part that you usually let the other person always talk about, it frees them to then take on the part of them that they usually don't give voice to, because that's the one that you inhabit. That polarization can be turned into a complementarity, and it will take you out of the rut. In my book, Mating in Captivity, I explore this fundamental paradox. I talk about it in terms of security and freedom, but also love and desire, also separateness and connection, and also stability and change, and also eroticism and domesticity. All of these major parts of our lives can be traced along this continuum of these fundamental sets of human needs. So, get into your own mapping and have the conversation that you've been needing to have.